Now, across Africa, women human rights defenders remain on the front lines of some of the continent's most urgent struggles, from gender-based violence and political repression to growing digital threats. Yet many continue to operate under immense pressure with limited protection and support. And so in Nairobi this week, more than 130 activists gathered for the 7th Women Human Rights Defenders Forum, organized by the Nimama Network, to reflect on progress, confront emerging risks, and strengthen solidarity under the theme Give to Gain. Well, to unpack what this means, not just for Kenya, but for women defenders across the continent, we're now joined by Gloria Madegwa, who's the head of programs and strategic partnerships at the Defenders Coalition and team lead of the Nimama Network. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Gloria. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me. It is my pleasure to be here.
Gloria, for listeners across the continent, set the scene for us. What is the role of the Nimama Network, and why are platforms like this forum so critically important at this time?
Thank you very much. The Nimama Network is a forum under the organization, the National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders, popularly known as the Defenders Coalition. And in this particular network, we bring together women human rights defenders from across the country, from across the 47 counties of Kenya. And in this forum, women have an opportunity to come together at different spaces during the year to speak to each other, to network, to share experiences, to share best experiences, but most importantly, to see how they can continue to ensure that women's rights and women's issues are at the forefront of the county's agenda, as well as the national agenda in Kenya.
So tell us a little bit about some of the key takeaways that came out of the conversations and breakthroughs maybe that emerged from this forum.
Okay. So this week, from Wednesday, we have been having women from across the country, 145 to be precise, who came together to, of course, March being International Women's Day. So we decided to end the month of March celebrating the great work that women human rights defenders are doing, and also across the board. And out of this, women got an opportunity to discuss some of the things, some of the challenges that they're facing in their various spaces of work. And we came out very strongly with a communique and some issues that we had discussed and we have committed to do is that.
Tell us a little bit about this give to gain theme. Powerful in practical terms. What does it mean for women and human rights defenders working on the ground?
Did you lose me?
I think we might have, but I don't know if you want to answer this next question, though. This theme about give to gain. In practical terms, what does it mean for women human rights defenders working on the ground?
Practically, it means that the woman is giving her all, her time, her energy, her resilience, and out of that, out of her giving everything that she has in terms of her time, in terms of her resources, the community is gaining back from whatever extringencies that they decided to give. So practically in Kenya, women for the last 1 year, not actually 1 year, but maybe 4 or 5 years, there has been a very high increase of issues to do with femicide in Kenya. And what has happened in the past 1 year, women have come out and spoken out about the issue of femicide. We have spoken to our county governments, we have spoken to our government, and the government listened. Early last year, the Kenyan government established a task force to do an investigation or to go around the country and really understand why are we having an increase in the in femicide cases in Kenya. And out of that, there was a report. The President of the Republic of Kenya received that report and has commissioned its implementation. Of course, there are some recommendations in the report that we, as a progressive human rights movement of women, not fully aligned with. However, our call to the President of Kenya has always and will continue to be the task force report recommendations need to be implemented so that we may see a decrease
Digital
in.
risks, including artificial intelligence, also on the radar. How are these new technologies changing the landscape for human rights defenders, and how prepared are you to respond?
It is actually one of the things that we have discussed the whole of this week. And AI is here to stay with us, and therefore we are also doing our research to understand how effectively can we use can we use AI without it destabilizing or coming into conflict with human rights, and also being very careful that. A lot of issues of technology facilitated gender-based violence are actually facilitated through AI. We have shared tools that women human rights defenders can make use of in ensuring that AI is used in the correct way. And even before AI is practically used, what are some of the concerns that need to be addressed before AI can be used? And as you know, Kenya is going to an election period in the coming year, and therefore we know that AI is going to, and we are already seeing it in our social media pages. AI is taking a lot, it's taking the forefront, and therefore we want, as much as AI is there to make our work easy, it is being used in the right way and not to abuse the gains that we have already made so far.
Gloria, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very, very much indeed for joining us. And we wish you strength with the important work that you're doing in our communities, especially in Kenya.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate. Thank you.
That was Gloria Madegwa, Head of Programs and Strategic Partnerships at the Defenders Coalition and Team Lead of Nimama Network.
You're still with Rise and Shine here on Channel Africa, coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa. Good morning to you. That's from me, Asanda Beda, and Peter Ndoro. And we'll be letting you know what's coming up in this third hour, the final one for the show. Let's start you off with the news at 8 o'clock Central African time. Here's Onel Nzinzi.